So within the JF community, I think all of you can agree that it has always been up for discussion on what wah-wah pedal you should use, and it seems like everyone gravitates towards different solutions, and you think the answer should be like easy, just use what John used to use, which, as you know, was an original Ibanez One, but you know that one has the problem of being in plastic, not being manufactured anymore, and since it was in plastic it broke easily, and those two factors in combination makes it really rare and really expensive and not within reach for the JF community. And as a result of this, there's been a lot of different versions of this pedal to kind of try to solve this problem. And as you can see behind me, I've gone through some of these on the market. And when the WHX from Chunglo Lab came out like 3 or 4 years ago, I concluded that I think this is the optimal one of them all. And I have made a detailed video when it came out on why I think that, but the key points are, first of all, that the circuit in this one is a faithful recreation of the vintage circuit, which makes it sound pretty much exactly the same. And second of all, it has a buffered bypass, so even when it's not in use, just in the chain, it alters how, for example, the fuzz pedal changes, and it makes it more sound, well, like how it sounds for John. And finally, the most unique selling point of this is that it is made of durable plastic, 3D printed plastic. And you know, with most pedals it's not too important what construction material it is as long as it is durable. But with a wah-wah pedal it is a completely different story. You know, when you rock it back and forth, you do that as a response to how you play and how you feel when you play, and when it is in plastic it gives you like a completely different feel compared to a very sturdy metallic construction. And I believe this was one of the reasons that John continued to use the plastic original version of the pedal, even though it broke on him all the time. And you know, me myself, having tried both this and other more sturdy versions of the closer, I can definitely confirm the difference, and it's definitely in favor of a plastic enclosure. And when this came out, I know that the plastic was like a big discussion point. Some people brought up the opinion that they were afraid that this would break easily as well, but I can confirm, you know, I used this since it came out and the enclosure has not broken on me, so it has held up really well. The only problem I've had was that the hook was in plastic as well, and that one broke on me, but will help me to replace it with a metallic one, and since that it has not been a problem. But now, many years later, Mr. Will Galuccio reached out to me and informed me that he has been working on this new version 2 of this pedal. And the improvements with this pedal, first of all, is that it is now injection molded ABS plastic instead of 3D printed. So now it, you know, the finish is more even, it looks like a more professional product, even though I think it is a charm with this product that you actually see that it is 3D printed, because it's like a new technology, so it's kind of cool to know that and see that in the design. But indeed, this really feels like a more high quality premium product. It just looks nicer in the finish overall. And the other feature is that it has improved feeling for the on-off switching, so it feels even more sturdy and you have like even more control, so that's really nice as well. And the third feature is that he has added a switch to make it true bypass if you want, but I guess I won't recommend to use that if you want a JF kind of sound, as I discussed before, but it gives you more control. Another feature is that this one has improved mechanical materials. For example, this one tended to be like a bit squeezy, you know, it makes a squeeze sound. It hasn't been like a too big of a problem, but I've done this comparison so you can kind of take a listen on what I mean. So you can hear that the new pedal is very quiet. The only sound you hear there is when I rock this one back all the way down. And also you have the metallic hook here, for example, so that one won't really break on you. And you also have an improved PCB, you know, the printed circuit board, to make it easier for example, service in case that is needed. And the final feature is that I think the design looks really nice. It pretty much looks like an original one, except for you know, that this part is not gray, but I think it's like a really nice design. It's like a nice combination between a tribute to the original one and kind of its own design as well. And now I just assume that you know the history of the wah-wah pedal and all that, so I haven't told you all the existing features because I think most of you know about them, but in case you don't, you have of course the guitar and bass switch, you have the depth control, you have the dry out, which no one really uses, but it's nice to have it there. Just like the original. You have your in-out, your DC power 9 volt. You have the volume control, which obviously if you max it out, you have an original version of the pedal. If you roll it back to have no boost, you have like a 1.5 version of the Ibanez One, and obviously you can put it wherever you want. It just makes it more versatile in case you want to use it in other contexts, but if you want a traditional JF effect, you should just, I guess, max it out and handle the boost in volume in ways that, you know, I discussed in the past. So what is my conclusion on this pedal? You know, I called this one the optimal one when it was released, and I think this one definitely is an improvement. So to me, this is even more the most optimal JF wah pedal there is out there, according to me. But when I say the most optimal JF wah pedal, what I mean by that is that if you have the money to spare and want, you know, the best features of the original version 1 of the Ibanez pedal, but you want a solution to all the problems that it had, then I think from that context it's the optimal one. So in my opinion, what Will has done is to kind of imagine what would a perfect pedal be and then just create that no matter what the cost is. And from my understanding, the cost on these like very special tailored components and all that becomes really high because of that. And as a consequence, the material cost for this pedal is not cheap, and obviously then the pedal becomes more expensive. So if you're in the situation where you're not too keen on getting like the perfect solution, but rather just want to get in the ballpark of getting, you know, the right tone and don't care about the feel with the plastic, and yeah, just want to get like kinda the right sound, then I think you will look for other cheaper alternatives, and that will probably work really well for you as well. So because of that, I don't think this one is for everyone. And finally, the context for this video, why I made this video, was that Will reached out to me and said that he has updated this pedal and another pedal that I will talk about in the future. And if I made a demo of this and the other pedal, as a thank you for that, I got another pedal that I already wanted and didn't have, that he has made for free. So, you know, that is the premise of this video. I'm free to say whatever I feel about, you know, his pedals and all that. And also in this video, I didn't do too much sound testing, because in the past I've done sound testing comparisons between this one and other alternatives, and you can check that one out in the description in case you're interested. But, you know, since this new one is very similar or the same in terms of sound, I thought the discussion here was more interesting compared to sound testing. But if you want to see that as well, please let me know in the comments, and also let me know overall what you think of all this. I'm really curious to hear what you think.